Hello, everybody. Hey, this is a good one for a lot of people, I'm sure. Post-travel depression, or post-travel, post-bike touring, post-hiking, whatever you just did. Do I ever get depressed after a trip? And this was the case. My first solo trip, I was gone for about a month, and I came back, and I had been moving and moving and moving and going, setting up camp, breaking camp, that kind of thing, daily, with a few rest days in there. And then I get home, and I stopped, and I was like, okay, it was great. I'm home, yeah, I'm eating and doing all this stuff, and then all of a sudden, about 2 days into it, I was like, something just didn't feel right. It was because I was so used to the movement, and also that movement internally, all your body's, your metabolism, everything's slowing down, and you're going to be eating a lot, and then all of a sudden your metabolism slows down, you're not moving, and that creates sort of a strange interaction. So, that with just the fact that you were out, and there's a lot of aspects to it. The way I look at it is, you were out, you were moving, you were in a routine, and for me, I get back and I'm like out of that routine and back into the society routine, right? And your centeredness is really made to do what you were just doing on the bike. That's a kind of a survival mode in a lot of ways, depending on how you're doing it. If you're out camping and stealth camping and really, pushing it, that energy you're creating, that momentum, it matters, and then you stop. So that's what's going on. That's what happened to me, and the way I dealt with it the second time was, and every time after, and here's just the way I do it. For all you guys that are old, and gals, older like me, and probably older, some young, little younger. I'm 60, almost, and I got tired of feeling that way. I didn't like the ups and downs, right? And that's not good for you. And now, I've always been a guy that was seasonal and worked up in Alaska, and moved around. And so, I always had a hard time just settling down, being in one place for more than a year. But the bottom line was that kept me healthy in a lot of ways. And I met lots of new people and all that. But when I have to slow down, what I do is I start planning the next one. If I'm into it, if that's or planning the next adventure, whatever it may be. It doesn't have to be bicycling, whatever it is. It's the mindset, and that's going to help with that mindset, triggering off a whole new dimension of, what the next adventure is. And then as far as your eating goes, you try to adjust to that correctly and keep movement. And the key is keep going. And I hate to say this, and this is kind of a tough one, but you almost have to keep going. But when you do stop, take that time, to kind of rebuild your energy and reflect on a few of the, mistakes you made and a few of the great things that happened. And then also what you can do differently, and work on. I mean, I immediately, when I start feeling that way, I get the bike out, the gear out, and I'm into okay, what do I got to do here? Not so much these days, because I'm doing it anyway. But back when I really needed to get that energy going, I talk about that in my book. I say, if there's nothing going on, you're and you're just sitting there and there's nothing happening. If you just do one thing, and the first thing I did after a long period of kind of being in a down spot, I just took the bike I had and I hung a bag on it. It was actually just the little tool bag. That one little action spurred one more, and then I took the bike out and kind of imagined, okay, I'm on a trip. I used my imagination to put myself where I was going to be. And so that kind of helped with that, momentum. That's all it is momentum. Now, if you do have to sit and you've got the broken leg or whatever, you're sick and you can't move, the one thing that, and I've been there, the one thing that I will do is I will armchair mountaineer it. I call it armchair bicyclist, the armchair, read stories, and also do whatever you can to, I've been laid up, but I know I want to do that next thing, so I just do something productive toward that, make a movement toward it. That's how I deal with that post-trip depression, post-travel. Now, here's the other thing, and this isn't for everybody, is and this is breaking out here a little bit and poking the edges of the circle here. If you have a job and you're going back to that, and that's the problem, right? And that's depressing, and you just, then that's another thing to look at. And I understand a lot of people you're stuck in that maybe, and you've got the kids and the wife, or the husband and the kids, your cars and your boats and your bikes and all the things coming in. If there's any way you can minimize some of that, I know I'm not giving it financial advice, but that's advice to lighten your load a little bit and let you focus a little more on being a traveler. And the hard part about this is for a lot of people to understand. For me, I just decided that's my life, and guilty to say I'm doing this forever until I have to stop. So in between, I'm using the tools I have, and the lessons to make things better as I go. Take care of my body, number one. Body, stomach, everything, that's how you start the day, as a feel good. So anyway, that's it. Post trip depression is something that happens, and you can get rid of it. You can get through it, and by focusing on the next adventure. And if you don't have that next adventure and you can't make it because of finances or whatever, that's understandable, but do it anyway. Do it. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.